I am not telling you shouldn't be pissed. You should be pissed. What I'm telling you is long-term, if they play offense the way they've played the last 2 weeks, they're not losing a lot of games.
100%. I agree with all of that. And I think that's also kind of what makes this game so annoying.
Yes.
And
yes.
Like that is.
Yes.
That is,
how are they losing? Just
right.
Yes. yes.
It's that football show here on KC Sports Network. Tucker Franklin hanging out with Matt Verderame for your Wednesday. We haven't done a Wednesday edition in a long time, Matt. That was the OG day for that football show. But we haven't done a Wednesday edition in a while. Thank you to our friends Ben Holiday, Bald and Bond Bourbon. They got me through last night. And the Chiefs Monday Night Football lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars in a game that was frankly. I don't want to sugarcoat things. It was pretty fucking embarrassing, Matt, the way that game happened and the way that loss happened to a Jacksonville Jaguars team that was celebrating like they won the Super Bowl. And they were doing media tour afterwards. On Liam Cohn was on Pat McAfee show on Tuesday. So like they were big win. I saw some Jags fans tweeting that's the biggest regular season win in their franchise history for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So shout out to the Jags getting on primetime and getting away.
Take nothing away from them from winning the game.
Right.
Because I don't want this to come off like I'm being a hater, because I'm not. Like they won, they got annihilated in that game.
Right. Yes.
They won because the Chiefs just pissed all over themselves for a solid 3 hours defensively on special teams and then occasionally even on offense. Like, look, I'm not taking anything away from them. They won the game. Mm-hmm. But let's not pretend like Jacksonville was dominant in this game. And you're like, wow. Look at what Jacksonville did. You know how dominant they were in this game? Here's all you need to know. Going into the game, the Chiefs were favored by 1.5 to beat the Lions.
Yeah.
The game ended, it went to 2.5. Vegas saw the Chiefs and were like, we know they lost. We're adding a point to the line.
Right.
Like, and that's how dominant the Chiefs were. They almost had 500 yards of offense. Moved the ball at will. Did everything you could ever want.
Yeah.
And lost for reasons we're about to get into for what I'm sure I think for you is like the fourth time in a podcast in the last 24 hours. For me is the third. Yeah. And I got one more coming. So this is great. This is great. And this is the worst part about when they play like shit. Is this is having to talk about it ad nauseum. Like I can't express to you how many people emailed or I love getting the occasional email by the way, or tweeted at me. They need to fire Andy Reid. Did Andy Reid commit 13 penalties last night? Like, did he put Jamari Conner on the field in the slot? Like, what? Look, I've been critical of Andy Reid, but like, what?
Yeah.
Like, your answer to what you saw last night is to fire Andy Reid and replace him with who?
Right. Yes.
Me, Matt Nagy, some guy who works at Sbarro. Who's coming in? Who you want? Nathaniel Hackett's available. Richie Kotite, if he's still alive, I don't even know if he is. Like, hire him.
I saw John Gruden being thrown out there. You should bring in John Gruden instead.
That's who they need. Yeah. John, like, I love these people who their solution to everything is to fire everyone involved with a team that just went to 5 out of 6 Super Bowls.
Right, yeah.
And clearly, look, this is the best way I can put this, I think, at this point. I also just got off of a plane where a guy, his Bluetooth speakers turned off, and he was listening to something that wasn't music at a very loud volume. Okay, so as we're descending, things were said off that guy's phone or tablet or whatever the hell was going on. Thank God it wasn't next to me. Anyway, should have cordoned that guy off. It's harsh or something. But anywho, look. So if you wake up tomorrow and God himself came down and said to you, hey, listen, there's a lot of pressing issues in the world, but I'm thinking about the AFC right now.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
World hunger is a little bit too tough to tackle. Let's talk AFC big picture. Like if you had to pick 2 teams right now to go to the AFC Championship game, who would you pick?
That's Chiefs and Bills.
Yes, that's who you'd pick.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit that the Colts are 4-1.
Right.
Like I understand the Chiefs are 2-3 and could very well be 2-4. Like I understand all that. Look at this conference. If they go 10-7. They're probably going to be a 5 seed.
Right.
And they're going to play what? Pittsburgh, Like, who cares? They get 10-point favorite at Pittsburgh. Look, I'm not saying you shouldn't be pissed, you shouldn't be angry, you shouldn't be upset about that game. I had to basically smoke cigarettes after that game. I don't smoke. All right. So, like, I understand and completely agree with anybody who's pissed. Like, they pissed that game away. They played like crap.
Yeah.
The first 5 weeks of the year, there's been way too much of that. I am not telling you shouldn't be pissed. You should be pissed. Mm-hmm. What I'm telling you is long term, if they play offense the way they've played the last 2 weeks, they're not losing a lot of games.
Right.
They basically had to try to lose on Monday night and still almost won the game. Like, if it came out that like Jack Cochran, Harrison Butker, and most of the defense had the Jags money line in that game, you'd believe it.
Yeah.
And they were within like 25 seconds of winning it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and if like Hollywood Brown knows that like he's supposed to turn around, they still might have won. So, look, I get it. I get being pissed. I literally told Tucker before the podcast, like, I took a walk to start the fourth quarter. Like, I just missed the first 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. I just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
So I get it. But their offense looks unbelievable, and they're getting Rashee Rice back into it. Like, I don't know what this team's going to end up being record-wise. I don't know how this is all going to shake, but I know a few things. If this offense continues to play this way, they're going to win more games, and they lose by a wide margin. The defense is not going to play like that most weeks. That might be the worst game they play all year. They're not going to commit 13 penalties in another game the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, realistically speaking, how many games are they really going to lose if the offense plays with that? Plus, look at their schedule the rest of the way. Like, the Lions are hard, the Bills are hard, and like maybe Denver's tough, and the rest of these teams, I mean, like the Colts, the Cowboys, although the Cowboys game might be 45-44. But, so. Like, you know, I guess my bottom line is short term, yeah, it's super annoying. Long term, I mean, I hung 476 yards on him.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you the other thing. There was one play in that game that gives me more hope than anything else. I believe it was the second quarter. It was a throw downfield to Thornton.
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes dropped back and had so much time in the pocket. He at one point put the ball down next to his leg in a non-throwing position and just started pointing to guys. Like, hey, man, you go that way. And then just wailed it to Thornton for like 30 yards.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever had that much time in the last 5 years. Like,
no.
He legitimately stopped playing football for 2 seconds to just direct traffic downfield and then put his arm back up and say, all right, now I'll throw it.
Mm-hmm.
If they continue to block like that, get Rice back, like, I just have a really hard time thinking this team's not going to be really tough to beat in January.
100%. I agree with all of that. And I think that's also kind of what makes this game so annoying.
Yes.
And
yes.
that is...
Yes.
That
like,
is,
how are they losing? Just
right.
Yes.
That is what makes this game so annoying, because the offensive line, run blocking, pass blocking, all metrics, played phenomenal. This might have been the best offensive line performance that they have had in years.
His career?
Yeah, honestly could have been. Like, Mahomes...
in his career.
Mahomes played incredibly well. When you look at the numbers, if I would have just told you the raw numbers of like what Patrick Mahomes had, over 300 passing, he was like 24 of 40 something, maybe not even that much, maybe 38.
He was 29 41 for 318, a touchdown, of course, the pick. He also had 60 yards on the ground and a touchdown.
If I tell you those numbers, you're like, oh wow, Chiefs must have had a good day at the office. Like they probably had a pretty good showing. No, I mean, yeah, the pick six obviously is bad. Devin Lloyd is having an insane year.
It's an out of body experience.
It's so crazy. I talked about this. Yeah. And he sucked last year. Like, he was very bad last year.
He declined his option.
They
were like, please get out.
Yes.
Yeah. He's got 4 picks this season. At least NFL.
Right. And he obviously has that pick six. Man, I mean, I think if they tackle him on like a 30-yard line, they don't, like, the Chiefs still win that game. I think there's still a lot of things that happen that, like,
Kareem Hunt was there.
Kareem Hunt was. Patrick Mahomes was also there. And I don't think Patrick Mahomes should be truck sticking dudes.
Yeah, I'm fine that Mahomes didn't tackle him, but like Kareem Hunt, buddy, throw your body in front of him, do anything. He tried, to his credit.
He's probably still gassed from that 33-yard run.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to see him get by that guy just because I wanted to see like how long it would be until Kareem Hunt just like fell over. Like, was it midfield? You know, like, there was a part of him mentally when he broke free. It was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of field in front of me, man.
Too much grass.
Like the bear was going to get on his back at about midfield. But I mean, look, there's a lot of positives to take from the game. I thought Nick played a great game.
He did. It's going to get overshadowed, but it will. But he just
played a great game. They offensively, there's a million things to take out of it. They ran the ball well. Their blocking was phenomenal. Mahomes was phenomenal. Even with the pick six, he played great in that game. He was, And like to me, that's more of a play that like you just credit Lloyd than it was Mahomes. Like it wasn't like Mahomes like just was like I don't know what I'm looking at. Well, like look, the guy sold the blitz. Mahomes didn't account for him in coverage because why would you? And to his credit, he popped up in the perfect spot, man. If that ball's from 18 inches in either direction, it's a footnote.
Yeah.
But he threw it right out. And like hey, when you're down in the red zone on an in-breaking route, you've got to throw the ball fast and you got to throw the ball hard. Mm-hmm. You don't have time to think about it. If you think about it, it's too late. Now, I would also argue that play happened partially because they have no belief in themselves running the football.
Right. And especially in between the 20s. Yeah.
And that's why you're throwing the ball where you're throwing the ball. But whatever, that's a whole nother story. One a real legitimate positive after a quiet game, even though I had a touchdown against the Ravens. Tyquan Thornton legitimately looks like they have found like a piece going forward with this guy. Like he's on pace for almost 1,000 yards.
That's crazy.
And when Worthy came back, I was like, all right, this might be the end of him kind of. He had 90 yards in the first half yesterday.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like flukish. Like he was just killing people. I mean, this is like, what is going on with this guy? He is leading the Chiefs in receiving yardage with 272. He's got 3 touchdowns, also leading them that. So the Chiefs as a team have 15 receptions of 20 or more yards. Thornton has 7 of them.
Wow.
No, I get it. Rice isn't there. Worthy just came back. I understand all that. But it's also hilarious that Nico Remigio has one because he literally his only catch is 21 yards. But like this team offensively has a lot going for it right now.
It does.
But to your point, and you're right, man, like that's why that game was so infuriating. Because you sat there and watched it and went, how the fuck did they lose to this team? Like my God, it felt like, I will stand by this, man, at 14-0. Jacksonville had a 3rd and 15 on their own 25.
Mm-hmm.
Watson slipped and got called for pass interference. So if they had stopped them right there, that game was over.
I agree. Yep.
Jacksonville was so cooked defensively. They would go right back out on the field. The Chiefs were rolling. I firmly, with everything in me, believe that game would have been 21-0, and Jacksonville would have just been like, all right, we're done.
Pass the sticks. Yeah.
And that's it. And then all of a sudden, that happens. Then they get this miracle that it's somehow not intercepted by like 8 Chiefs who touch the ball.
Right.
And it's 14-7. And then the Chiefs get the ball back. And look, it's the only play other than the pick six I think you'd take back, which was they kind of ran a push pass to Worthy. And Hines Allen, to his credit, made a great play. They had a ton of yards out in front. If he gets around him, it's a huge gain.
Right.
But he made a great play because he's a great player. And that stunted that drive. Then they came out. The only other thing I would have said, you could argue this, the 4th and 2 out of halftime. I know they were like they're on 40, 41. I would have gone for it. Because I just felt like the way they were playing offensively in that game, if they had, first of all, I think they would have picked it up. And if they had picked it up, I just felt like if they would have scored there, even a field goal and got 2 scores, it just changes the feeling of the game. But then they don't get it, and the defense at that point just went on vacation the rest of the night outside of McDuffie's pick. It's a really frustrating loss. And when they play the Lions on Sunday, it might be a race to 50 because I'm not sure anybody's going to stop anybody. But we'll see. Yeah. Although this would be the classic game that you stop them and hold them to like 10 points.
I have a theory about this game, Matt. I have a theory that this very much feels like, and we've talked about this game several times already this year, ironically, the game after the Sky Moore fiasco. Hey, Sky Moore mentioned. Sky Moore
can't get away from him, man. He's been on the team for 2 months.
You've mentioned him every single episode since.
By the way, I know you're going to say I want you to continue, but I'm just curious, did he have a catch last game for the Niners? No targets. All right.
He muffed a kick.
I know he did that, yeah. Yeah, he muffed a return.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Anyway, so your theory.
The Sky Moore fiasco, what was that, 22, 23?
2022, yes, against Indianapolis.
Against Indianapolis, and I remember sitting at the Kingdom Bar and Grill when we were doing the post-game show and thinking like, this team is just ass. Like, this team just sucks. Like, I don't know, like, what's going to happen. Like, this team, I don't know what to do with this. And then the very next week, they go on, was it Sunday Night Football against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and just go ape shit on the Bucs. And it's just like, hang on a second. What is this? Kind of gives me the same vibes of like everyone. I remember that whole week leading into the Tampa Bay game of just like, this is going to be ugly, isn't it, guys? Like, this is going to be
dogs in that game.
Yeah, it's like, this is this is not going to be good. Like, the Tampa Bay might run all over them. And like there's kind of some similar feelings right now when you're like, man, Detroit, they're looking pretty darn good these last few weeks. Like, they've been good. Now, granted, they are beat up in the back end. Terran Arnold did get hurt with his shoulder. I don't think he's going to be out for the year, from what it sounds like.
But he's going to be out for this game. So is DJ Reed. So both their corners. So the Chiefs aren't even going to try to run the ball in this game.
No.
Mahomes is going to come to the line, just start screaming, Hollywood, Hollywood, and then just throw it 20 yards out.
So there's a lot of vibes of just like, it feels like because of how well the Lions are rolling offensively and their rushing attack, their two-headed monster that they got back there. I mean, it is scary. Like, to look at this matchup, and you're like, oh God, oh no. And then I just have a weird feeling that the Chiefs are going to be pedal to the metal, and they're just going to go ahead and go ape shit on the Lions, and it's going to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna all of a sudden figure this out.
Well, it's a weird game in the sense. And like, we can get into this more in the next show.
Right, of course.
It's kind of a weird game from the standpoint the Lions don't need this game, really.
No.
Like, they're 4-1. They're clearly going to win their division. Like, they're the best team in the division, unless you really believe in Green Bay.
I don't.
It's a game on the road against an AFC team. And on the flip side, the Chiefs, you would imagine, are going to come out in this game and be like, we need to win this fucking game.
Yeah.
We have to win this game. At home. You know, look, and I'm not ready to sit here and be the guy who's like, I just think they're going to run away. Like, Detroit's really good.
Detroit is good. Yeah.
Detroit in the last 4 games has scored 52, 38, 34, and 37. Now, granted, that's against the Bears, Ravens, Browns, and Bengals, which...
not murderer's row.
Not a who's who.
No.
Also, kind of oddly, like Goff has been very good, and we know Gibbs and Montgomery are both very good.
Yeah.
If you can cover Amon-Ra St. Brown at all, the rest of the receiving core is kind of bullshit.
Right.
Like, Jameson Williams is 223 yards, which is fine. But he's got 11 of 21 targets. He's he's fine. But like, the thing with him is like, you can't let him get loose on you because he's fast as hell. Their third leading receiver has 54 yards.
Wow.
So it's Amon-Ra at 407 and 6 touchdowns. So like, going to want to handle him.
Yeah.
Okay. Laporte is having a good year. He's got 269. Williams has 223. Gibbs has 112, which isn't crazy in the sense he's got 22 catches. So like, he doesn't catch the ball for a ton of yardage.
Yeah.
And then it's Isaac Tesla, the rookie, 54 yards. So like, look, this is going to be a lot of like, Laporte is probably going to do some stuff against the Chiefs because he feels like that kind of is what happens. Although with the 3 safeties, we'll see. The bottom line here is, I don't know if you can do anything against them running the ball and put McDuffie on St. Brown.
Right.
It's not crazy. Like, they obviously played them a couple of years ago in the opener, and that was a game where they didn't have Chris Jones and Kelsey, if anybody remembers that game.
Yeah, because Kelsey got the knee injury like the night
before.
Like that. Yeah.
So here's the deal, though. In that game, the Lions had all this same, like they had St. Brown, Laporta, Montgomery, Gibbs. Yeah. The Lions scored 14 points in that game on offense.
Right.
Now, Amon-Ra had 6 for 71 in touchdowns. He had a decent game. Gibbs only had 7 carries. We had 42 yards. Montgomery had 74 yards and 21 carries. Goff went for 253 and a touchdown. But like, it wasn't a dominant showing. Like, they averaged like 5.3 yards per play.
Right.
And they won that game because the Chiefs couldn't catch anything.
Well, Kadarius Toney literally handed a football to the other team.
Yes, Brian Branch is still running.
Right.
But that's kind of like, so look, I'm not ready. Like, I've seen people just be like, well, this is it then. They're 2-4. It's like, first of all, even if they are, they're still going to win like 11 games to make the playoffs. But
yeah.
It kind of has the feel of a game that everybody's going to be down as hell. And then they're just going to come out and be like, here's our A+ game plan against 100%. A team that's kind of like, eh. And we'll see what happens. The funny thing is, if they win this game, you walk out of this Rice suspension being like
500.
Not terrible.
Right.
Even though it has been an atrocity to watch, I think you'd walk out of it being like 3-3. Rice is back. By the way, early line against the Raiders are a 10.5-point favorite.
Good Lord.
I think that's a commentary on both teams. But I think it's so funny that Vegas watched the game last night, and even though they lost, Vegas was like, "Oh, bump it up 2.5." I'm a big believer in betting markets because they care about one thing: they care about making money.
Yeah,
that's all they care about. They just want to be right. They want to make money. And so, while all these people are super down on them, the people that their jobs are on the line, their livelihoods on the line to make money, they were like, "Whoa!" That team bumped that line up.
Yeah.
That says something to me. Did Vegas watch that? And I was like, well, I wonder what Vegas is going to do with this line. Maybe they'll leave it alone. And better, no, 2.5 now. And then the Raiders 10.5, just hilarious.
Yeah, that is funny.
Picks.
We do need to take a break. We need to take our first time out, burn our first time out. We're going to do a better job of using our timeouts than Liam Cohn did in this game.
Just an unbelievable time showcase in the first half.
It's like he didn't know that he was the one that had to call the timeouts. It's like he thought somebody else was making the decision.
I was watching that happen and was like, am I on drugs? Does he not have a time? What is going on?
Is the scoreboard wrong? Yeah.
Honestly, I kept waiting for Andy to start blowing his timeouts, but he always does at the end of the first half. But I think Andy was so perplexed by what was going on the other sideline. He was like, I don't know, just don't do anything. Right. And then the Jags are just like, halftime.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, They almost really blew it at the end there too. With they had one timeout left. It's still if Trevor Lawrence gets touched in his death, they didn't have any timeouts when that happened. But
if he had gotten touchdown, I thought about this and that would have been a fire drill and a half, man.
They get one playoff, right? They only have one because there was 30 seconds, right?
30 seconds at the snap. So he would have been touched, let's say with 24 seconds left. They would have had to get everybody back and set up. My guess is they would have spiked the ball. I think they would have spiked it with 10 seconds left. So maybe they get two more points. Look, the way that game was going, I'm sure the Chiefs would have just given up a wide open touchdown to a tackle eligible or something. Well, but it was, as that play was unfolding, my initial was oh my God, what a break. And then as they weren't touching him, he's going to score because that's the way this game's going. It was like the Andrew Luck play in the playoffs years ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, fuck that game. That game was just, I would not have wanted to be on that flight home.
No.
That had to be a long flight back to Kansas City.
Well, there's still one, I think, major part of this game we haven't talked about that we have to talk about, and it's the special teams aspect of it. And we probably need to dive into the
special teams.
Yeah, we both have a lot of thoughts on the special teams, but we should burn a timeout first before so we can collect ourselves. Unlike Liam Cohn and the Jaguars, but we're gonna burn our timeout. We're gonna pay some bills, but first, you guys already know. I got to tell you, I'm calling all Chiefs fans. Yes, you could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. Don't go anywhere. We're going to use our timeout here, and we'll be back to talk about special teams after this. Chiefs.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
My name is Terrell Jolly. A lot of people call me TJ, founder and CEO of Integrity Capital Management. So Integrity Capital Management originally started out as a property management firm, but we slowly transitioned to what is described as an incremental development firm that's focused on situational housing. I know most people say affordable, but we believe in creating housing for people that are actually in need and build to the end user. I believe everyone needs a home, because when you have home, you have hope. The reality is that when you're building a business, one thing you don't think about is like what a true banking relationship means. And, I had the honor and privilege of meeting Debbie early on in my career when I was just trying to get going. And as a small business, it's really challenging at times because people don't understand the concept or not believe the longevity because you're just getting started. But Debbie was willing to take a chance on me, be patient with me. I almost look at it like a grassroots initiative. She's seen and believe what I'm about. Anybody that's really true about their business and want to get some things done, I would definitely trust hands down Emprise, because Deb's team, along with Aaron and Jackie and all the amazing people that work behind the scenes, even from the treasury side, I would say, hey, give them an opportunity, because you won't be disappointed and you will actually be in hands that actually somebody care and that will see you from start to finish.
Matt, I have to preface this conversation by saying Harrison Butker has been a problem for the Kansas City Chiefs this whole season. And I need for people to know, no, we are not saying that they should cut him, because I don't know who else you could bring in. He is making a lot of money right now, so that's a lot of dead cap that the Chiefs can't really afford to have dead cap issues on right now. There's no real solution other than just us bitching about it, right, Matt? But it is wildly frustrating to see what's going on with Harrison Butker. It wasn't a missed kick this game. It was a unforced error, though, again, with him kicking the ball out of bounds on the ensuing kickoff after taking the lead. It was one of those things where, you just were shaking your head. That's literally all it was, is me just shaking my head of just of course that's what happened. Why would he kick it to a area that is, hold on, I did the math, an area that is 9,594 square feet. That's larger than a lot of houses he could kick it onto, and he just decided to kick it out of bounds.
Yeah. Listen, I am definitely not in the camp of do whatever it takes to get Matthew right back. I'm not, because if Butker lined up for a 54-yard field goal right now to put them in the Super Bowl, I would be supremely confident he's hitting it.
Right.
Okay. That being said, everybody else gets held accountable. So does he. He has been a disaster through 5 games. A disaster. And when he made all 4 of his extra points, right down the middle, I was like, all right, cool. Confidence builder game.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did what he did on the kickoff.
Right.
It's an inexcusable error. It's inexcusable. I don't give a shit. Kick it down the middle, whatever. I don't care. Kick it through the end zone for all I care. Fine. You cannot do that. Now, maybe he looked at the way they'd been covering kicks all season and said, look, the 40 is better than whatever the hell we're going to do covering this thing, because they can't cover a kick to save their lives. Every time, I feel like they're a fingernail away every time from some guy breaking it and going to the house.
Man.
But it's, and truthfully, on the coverage units, they should put Jack Cochran out there, because if we know one thing about Jack Cochran, he'll get his hands on the other team.
That's true. He loves to hold.
Yeah, we're gonna get to Jack Cochran in a minute, who should have been left on the tarmac, but that's neither here nor there. Look, Butker had the field vision last night on that kickoff of Helen Keller. Okay, buddy, for the love of God, in play. And it's what was the game? God, it was recently in prime time that people were bitching up a storm that the landing zone just changing the game. What game was that?
That was last Monday night, wasn't it? Where he kicked it short of the landing zone, and then it was just you got to place it at the 40, and I was well, it's a lot of area, so just kick it in the landing zone, you'll be fine.
I can't believe Chase Daniel was irate over this.
Yeah, I think it was last Monday.
Chase, he's a professional kicker,
right?
I mean, what are we talking about here? That's the equivalent of a pitcher in Major League Baseball warming up and being told, "Hey, man, throw it in the strike zone." You're a professional pitcher.
Yeah.
You should be able to do that 100 times in a row warming up. What? I mean, it's not me doing it. It's it's Nolan Ryan. He should be able to hit the strikes. Harrison Butker should be able to keep the ball in play when the field is 160 feet wide. Okay? Yeah. I don't think you're asking too much here. And It's an inexcusable mistake from a guy who this year has killed them in multiple games. He cannot hit a kick. He then backs it up. Now he's kicking the ball out of bounds on kickoffs. Like, look, and I don't care. I know there's like everybody gets their jokes off with him because of all this stuff off the field. I don't give a shit about any of that. Hit a field goal and like kick the ball in the field to play.
Yep.
But their special teams last night were a disaster all the way around. Brashard Smith had one really good return and another good one. And Jack Cochran's like, wait a minute, I'm going to take an inconsequential hold here and make sure it doesn't count. Watch this. Neither one of them were needed. Like, what are you doing? Just block it. Like, and then there are times if you know you've gotten beat and you're like, just let him go, man.
Right.
Like, let him go. Let your returner who's running like a 4.25 40, like let him just make the guy miss. You're blocking some stiff on Jacksonville who's like a third string linebacker. Who cares? I'm sure Brashard Smith would tell him, bro, don't even touch him.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's not tackling me. Bye. You know, like the best thing Butker did all night was make a tackle.
Yeah.
They couldn't be bothered as a collective to make a tackle. Should put him on defense.
Mm.
Done something. Would have given more effort maybe than Chris Jones on the final play of the game. But
good Lord.
Wow.
I've I don't know if you have seen this go around. Obviously, Chris Jones has deleted his social media, his Twitter account.
I got to tell you, I would have too after that.
Yeah. I've seen some people say that Chris Jones was doing what he was supposed to do on that play. And I think that's very funny to be like, well, Chris Jones was waiting for like maybe a pass deflection or he pushed the line back in there. So he's taking two offensive linemen. But it's very funny to now use that, Matt, where it's like, well, he was doing what he's supposed to do when Chris Jones notoriously does not do what he's fucking supposed to do ever on the football field. And now you're just like, well, he was doing what he's supposed to do. So I guess that's okay.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I don't think he was doing what he was supposed to do. And I don't want to speak for I'm not the defensive coordinator of the team. I don't think the game plan there was for Chris Jones to just stand up and like hang out and stuff and sip a Mai Tai and hope that Trevor Lawrence went right at him. I don't think that was the play call. All right.
I hope not. If that it was a bad call.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Like, can we please stop? Like, I don't think that's what was going on.
Right.
It was an abomination. But to get back to the special teams briefly here, yeah, look, I mean, you've got to, at some point, Arise has been good. He's been very good, actually, to his credit. He's better
than last year, yeah.
A tough year last year, yeah. Their returners are good. Like Smith and Remigio are good returners. So that's good. And Butker is an excellent kicker who is having a disaster of a start. But at some point, bro, stop having a disaster start.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
What if you thought about that?
Yeah, it's key.
Yeah.
But it's truthfully, it's like Mahomes last year. Mahomes was throwing more interceptions and touchdowns for like 2 months. Mahomes is the most unassailable player on the team. Like, you're never going to get on him. And I remember multiple times last year we sat here and I'm like, he's got to play better. Like, I don't care. Like, he's a great player. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. But like, right. You got to do better. We've been sitting here at the beginning of the season. I've been talking about Kelsey. Like, hey man, you got to cut the mental lapses out. Like, I'm not going to kill him for dropping a pass. It happens. It's a physical error. I am going to kill him about when I'm watching the film and he's just standing around as guys go by him. He's supposed to be blocking. Like, last couple of weeks, I haven't seen him do that. But
he played good yesterday, I thought.
He did play good yesterday. He played good against Baltimore. But it's like, look, physical errors happen. Mental errors should never happen. They should not happen. And to me, Butker, you could argue that's a physical error. To me, that's a mental error. You're not focused because physically he kicked the ball in bounds 1,000 times out of 1,000. You're not focused. You're not on your fundamentals. Like, that should never happen. Ever. The field's so damn wide. Like, come on, man. Yeah. I can understand it. Maybe you're asking him to hit a touchback and he hits it short or something. You hit the ball a little bit. That I can understand. Kicking the ball out of bounds is an unforgivable sin for a kicker.
Yeah.
That's like if Mahomes dropped back and just dropped the ball next to him and walked away. Well, like basically like Cam Newton in Super Bowl 50.
Right.
Yikes. But, I mean, at some point, like, that's the kind of shit that killed them last night.
Mm-hmm.
The errors that are so avoidable and they, Connor not turning around when he should have turned around.
Right.
Just Mickey Mouse stuff, like obvious stuff. Like the Watson PI on 3rd and 15 sucked. I think it turned the whole game. But I kind of like he slipped and fell. And I think he was like, if this guy catches this ball, like, there is nothing but grass behind me.
Uh-huh.
And I get it. Like, you could argue, hey, whatever, he shouldn't. Like, he doesn't know the ball's going to be catchable. I can understand that. I can't understand Drew Tranquill running over Nick Bolton as he's about to field a fair catch. I don't know what the hell that was. Certain stuff, the mental errors, that stuff cannot happen. That just cannot happen. And that's the stuff that's so avoidable. If they had, if you keep all the physical errors in, the pick six, all that, and you take the mental errors out of that game, let's say they win by 2 scores.
Yeah.
But they just beat themselves. And it's the same thing that happened in Philadelphia. It's the same thing that happened to the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the plus side of it is, if they eliminate that stuff, they're really talented. They're really good. If they don't eliminate that stuff, this is going to be one of these years you're screaming at them all year, and you're like white knuckling it to death, hoping that they just don't make a mistake. The one thing we do know is that they play the Bills in the playoffs, they'll beat them. But like everything else, like it's up for debate.
It is interesting. You talk about that 13 penalties. You're not going to win an NFL game with 13 penalties. That's really impossible. And the one time that Juwan Taylor was called for a penalty wasn't actually on him. Funny enough,
I was ready to go berserk.
Oh yeah, I could feel
they
it.
Showed it, and I'm like,
yeah, it's Tyquan Thornton's fault.
Like it's not Thornton.
I tell you what, Joe Buck was ready to go berserk on Tyquan on Juwan Taylor, him and Troy Aikman. I don't know if you listened to that broadcast. That was
I did, and I like those guys, but that broadcast was. Look, can we stop with like every time something happens in a Chiefs game, it's got to be this big like Bermuda Triangle level controversy, like who shot JFK? Like, oh, first of all, okay, and I saw it. I can honestly say in real time as it happened. Juju, that was not a penalty.
No.
They were at the 2-yard line. You can be within a yard of the line of scrimmage and set a legal pick. He did. He was at the 1-yard line. Like, I don't know what the fuck their rules analyst was talking about. Because, by the way, Kurt Warner was eviscerating that guy on Twitter as
a dork.
Like, he's like, it's illegal. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
So that's number one. The pass interference call, you could argue it 2 ways. You could say it's PI, fine. You could also sit there and say, look, Hicks has a right to where he is on the field.
Yeah.
And Parker Washington slammed into him. Like, that's his fucking problem. Like,
right. Yes.
Slam into the defensive back. I mean, I would argue to me that is incidental contact.
Mm-hmm.
And it's illegal. Like, I honestly don't think either one of those calls were bad. Like, if I thought the Chiefs were getting a gift, I'd say it. Like, I didn't think that either of them were bad. And like, Aikman's going berserk about this like pick play at the goal line. And by the way, look, I honestly like Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman, I don't ever want to hear a word about him and the officiating. Anyone who watched Michael Irvin play football?
Right, yes.
Michael Irvin committed offensive pass interference like 85 times a game. Okay? Well, there's a reason Aikman was as accurate as he was. Irvin was wide open all the time because he took the corner and threw him into the third row. So the idea that like Aikman has like this overwhelm, oh no, hold on a minute, like that's illegal. Back in my day, bullshit.
Yeah.
That like, first of all, it wasn't illegal. Second of all, like you benefited from offensive penalties more than any quarterback I've ever seen in my life. And I also, by the way, the other thing I got, and I use a stupid thing, just a Twitter thing. Mahomes was going nuts after that play, like screaming about like, no, it's a 1 yard. And all these like tough guys on Twitter are like, this is why, like Kurt Bankert, who played in the NFL for like 12 minutes. It's like, this is why I'm so upset about this. But it's like Josh Allen bitches about every single play that has ever happened on the field that he's involved in.
Right.
And nobody says anything. You know why? Because he doesn't win anything.
Yep.
That's why. If he had 3 Super Bowls, he'd be the guy. Everybody's, flops and this and that and blah, 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 blah. And everybody like Mahomes is the cool kid at school. And Mahomes was right.
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes was literally correct. Like, he was right. He was taking you know what? Look, Mahomes, there are certain things you can get on him for. There are absolutely times he baits some guy in and trying to hit him.
Yeah.
Like, and I have no problem people criticizing him for that. But they did it to the Chiefs on a night when they were called for 13 penalties. Somehow, like, the fix was in. It's just unbelievable to me. Like, people are it's pandering for pandering's sake.
Yep.
Fuck that.
Yeah. It was a broadcast that, I'm with you. I usually like Buck and Aikman. Like, I think that they're a fine combination. I think they are. But not only like were they just like so visceral in every single reaction that was like called on the Chiefs? Russell York was not good. Their rules analyst, Jackie Moon, called him Russell Dork, and I thought that was really good. I'm going to call Russell Dork. That's a really good one. Also, the audio was mixed so poorly. You could hear the crowd noise. You could like barely hear them. Like that was so strange. And I was like, there's no way there's that many people in Jacksonville at this game that he can't hear the announcers. Then after so many like reviews, they would just go to commercial. And like they would just go to commercial
twice. They were just like, all right, then.
All right, under review, let's go to commercial. And you're like, wait, hang on. Can I see the play? Can I see the play? No replays. Whenever you wanted a replay, you wouldn't get a replay.
Touchdown.
Yes.
Like, it was like a touchdown or a fumble. And they were like, listen.
It was the Nick Bolton punch out.
First, Verizon.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
So many ads. It was a wildly frustrating viewing experience. But I think it's time for us to put that game to bed. And we can finally turn the page, Matt, and talk about the Lions next week. But some pretty good games around the NFL. The Chiefs, look, funny enough, the Chiefs had themselves an opportunity to get like tied with the AFC West. They had an opportunity to be one game back of the one seed in the AFC because of Josh Allen and the New England Patriots coming to town and beating them in those rivalries uniforms. They deserve to lose wearing those uniforms. And they couldn't take advantage of it. We got to take another break, burn our last timeout. We will burn all of our timeouts here, unlike Liam Cohn going into the halftime break. Let's burn it, and then we will talk the rest of the league coming up next. Chiefs Kingdom, I have got a question for you. What is your favorite touchdown? Well, for me, I can confidently say that my favorite touchdown, it's the next one, because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From the first touchdown score to anytime touchdown props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. From spreads to money lines, same-game parlays, regular parlays, you want it, DraftKings has got it. Here's the best part. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. I use DraftKings Sportsbook, and you should too. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Minimum minus 500 odds required. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Matt, actually, we should talk first about this happened earlier on Tuesday, that the Browns traded Joe Flacco to the Bengals and how funny that trade is. And also, it's like only the third time ever the Bengals have ever made a midseason acquisition.
I love the people on Twitter who are like, gotta give the Bengals credit, not going down without a fight. It's like, I gotta tell you, they're going down without a fight. Like, I don't know who hasn't seen Joe Flacco the last handful of years.
Right.
Joe Flacco's awful.
Yeah.
Okay. And behind that offensive line, there's a real question of his health. And like, will he survive? Can you imagine you're Joe Flacco, right? You're getting paid. You get benched. You're just chilling.
Yeah.
You're just, yeah, man, you're in your swan song. Like,
good life, man.
Hey, yeah, I'm getting paid. Yeah, I got to live in Cleveland. Like, all right, I'm getting paid.
True.
Then you wake up and it's like, hey, by the way, man, listen, you've got to go to Cleveland South where they just dump beans on spaghetti and call it a delicacy.
Uh-huh.
And worst meal I've ever had in my life was barbecue in Cincinnati. It was the worst I've ever eaten.
Wow.
It was disgusting. I literally threw it out halfway through. I was like,
I've never been to Cincinnati.
It's anyway, it's Cleveland South. It's basically Kentucky. All right.
Yeah.
I used to have a great shirt, by the way, about Kentucky. 8 million people, 7 last names. It's a great shirt. Yeah, I wore it in high school. It was great.
That's a good one.
I had another shirt about the Neverland Ranch. We can't get into that on the program.
Yeah.
Wouldn't do it. Spencer's had a lot of funny shirts back in the day. A lot of shirts that you could not wear out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
But in any event, so you're Joe Flacco and you wake up. No, you listen. You're going to Cincinnati and you're going to start this week against the Packers pass rush.
Yeah.
Have fun, man. Like, is there a part of him that you think he got that phone call and he was like, I could just retire?
Yeah.
I don't need this shit. All these people who are pretending like this is some galaxy brain move. Yeah, he stinks.
Yeah.
And they stink. And this is not going to end well. And like, please stop pretending it's going to end well. It's not going to end well.
Did they name him the starter? I thought they were going to have him compete for the job.
Oh, bro, he's going to start.
Which is also hilarious to be like, we'll trade for Joe Flacco, have him compete with Jake Browning.
They cut Brett Ripien.
Really? I saw they cut Mike White, too.
So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say Flacco's starting that game.
Yeah.
Like, sources me in this case, yeah, he's going to start in this game. I also had the Ravens and Chargers while we were on this podcast made a trade.
Did they really? Oh, I didn't have Twitter.
Alfe Owe, who had 10 sacks last year and leads the Ravens in pressures, traded to the Chargers for Elodie Gilman.
Is that player for player straight up?
Yeah, and like they throw in like 2 like real late round picks, like a 7th and a 6th.
Really? That's
so the
interesting.
Chargers gave up a good safety, and the Ravens gave up a pretty good pass rusher. And Justin Herbert somewhere from a hospital bed is screaming, trade for a lineman.
Yeah.
But like I actually like both players.
I do too, yeah. That's interesting trade.
It's kind of a weird, like Gilman and Hamilton, that's a great combination. But you also just traded for a guy who is going to play with your first round pick, Malachi Starks.
Uh-huh.
And Owe, like their edge rush is really weird now. So you have Mike Green, who they drafted in the second round, who fell to the second round for reasons you can Google.
Yeah.
And not good. And Kyle Van Noy, who's 47 years old.
Very old.
Like that's your edge rush, like going for like just an odd. Like I like to trade more for the Chargers, but also like the Chargers can't block anybody, and they were like, "Yeah, sure, we'll make a trade." It was somehow not to fix that,
right?
So I'm somewhat perplexed, but yes, I think like if I had to grade it, I'd give the Chargers like a B plus, and I'd probably give the Ravens a B minus.
Yeah, that is very interesting trade. Yeah, that is certainly a trade. Colts also signed Michael Badgley and placed Spencer Strider on Chiefs legend on the injured reserve because he destroyed every ligament in his knee in that game. Unfortunate for him. Very unfortunate for old Spencer Strider, who was like the AFC Special Teams Player of the Month for September.
I know.
I mean, he was a hell of a kicker. There's some people around saying they should have kept him in the building rather than Buckner. Some people were saying, streets were saying, but
streets say a lot of things.
The streets do say a lot of things. Like the streets are saying that the Ravens are actually hot ass. 44-10 to the
right.
The streets are right about that. 44-10 to the Houston Texans. That was at home too. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. I don't know how the Ravens come back from this.
I'll tell you how they come back. They come back this Sunday and get smoked by the Rams. I mean, that's how they come back. I mean, they're going to be 1-5.
Yeah,
okay?
That's wild.
What really is a genuine question about the Ravens moving like forward long term. They have kind of. I'm trying how I want to phrase this. It feels like this version of the Ravens has peaked, and I don't know that it's going to ever get better than what it currently is. Like, you know what I mean? I guess it's the definition of peak, so I'm adult. But it's the reason I say that Henry's not getting any younger.
Right.
Like, Bateman's fine, but he's a guy.
Yeah.
Like, you're not, like, no one in the league's like, how are we going to stop Rashad Bateman? Like, Zay Flowers is really good. But I think you have to talk to yourself if you're the Ravens and have some tough truths. Like, Henry's getting older. Lamar is not going to continue running the way he's running much longer. It's just not going to happen. Like, I did this for my column at SI on Friday where I was previewing. Was it Friday? What the hell? It was a preview or something. And I was writing about Lamar Jackson and how much longer. Oh, okay, I wrote a column about the Ravens actually after they lost that game.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I remember that. Yeah.
I went and did some research on for any quarterback over the age of 30, what is the most rushing yards in a season for a quarterback past 30 years old?
Ooh.
The answer is Michael Vick, 676. So, like, man, time's ticking. He's going to be 29 in January.
Yeah.
And he's been hurt. This is now the third, like, meaningful injury of his career. They're all lower body.
Mm-hmm.
Henry's getting older. Ronnie Stanley's hurt all the damn time.
Right.
You know, what did Bullets Chiefs dodge with that, by the way? Like, they ended up not signing him to draft Simmons, who was turning into God over at left tackle. And by the way, like, look, I know they lost. Kingsley Suamataia, who both of us sat here all summer and like, oh my God, like, what's it? Kingsley Suamataia looks like Joe Thuney the last 2 weeks. I'm not sure what the hell is going on.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
It's almost like somebody sat him down and had like a body replacement after the first couple of games. He's been unbelievable the last 3 weeks. But it really, to get back to Baltimore, like, Van Noy's older. Matabika has a scary neck injury.
Right.
Marlon Humphrey is older. Jair Alexander's old and can't play anymore.
Yeah. Like,
I just wonder at some point here, if you're Baltimore, do you kind of have, like, not blow it up, but have a soft rebuild of this?
Yeah.
And I know people could say, well, you know, it's because of all the injuries. It's like, yeah, but that's kind of the point. Yeah. Like, look, they're always hurt. Like, there's a million, like now last year they weren't. Last year they were unbelievably healthy, but like Van Noy's older. Not surprising he's hurt. Stanley is always hurt. Mm-hmm. Okay. Marlon Humphrey is always hurt. Jair Alexander is always hurt. Like, you can go on down. Now guys like Ricard have not always been hurt. Okay. Like, but like, I just wonder at some point, do you sit there if you're Baltimore and just go, you know what? We've gotten about as much mileage as we can out of this team.
Yeah.
And it might be time to start thinking about a core going forward of Kyle Hamilton, Lamar, Zay Flowers, Linderbaum, Rosengarten at right tackle. Yeah, I'm trying, Matabike if he's healthy, if he's Roquan, still young enough. But like, I think that's what the team's got to be built around. You got to kind of shed some of these other guys. It just feels, and look, every team goes through it. The Chiefs have gone through it.
Yeah.
But I think if you're Baltimore, I do think there has to be a thought at some point here of like, is this really going to work moving forward? I don't know.
I think it's an interesting conversation because it does look like that they are in they're at a crossroads, I think, when it comes to this team. Matt, I know that we kind of, when we were looking ahead to this slate, this was the Bills and Patriots game was kind of one that we were like, hey, sneaky, could be like one of those sneaky upset games. We talked about that, like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if the Patriots go into Buffalo and beat them? And they did. And Drake May came in. He played really well. I think that the Patriots played well. There was a time there where Josh Allen was flopping, trying to get calls. I don't know if you noticed that one. I think there was like a third or fourth down where he like threw it and like on the follow through, he tried to like hold his arm out a little bit longer to like have somebody run into it and have it all get called. But just classic Josh Allen, just Josh Allen stuff. But then they left the door open for the Chiefs. Obviously, they didn't walk through it. Thoughts on how that game all shaped out in the Bills' cupcake of a schedule?
So I would say this about the Bills: like, they're 4-1, they're the odds-on favorite to be the 1 seed.
Right.
I don't think they're that good.
Same. don't think anyone in the AFC is that good right now, to be honest with you.
No, I don't either. And here's a take that I fully believe that I know if I tweeted this out, I would get roasted to death for it. But it's a safe space here. Do not clip this and tweet this out.
Yeah, no.
I honestly would rather be the Chiefs than the Bills right now.
Yeah.
And I know the Chiefs are 2-3. I get it. I get how asinine that sounds. I think the Chiefs' problems are much more correctable than the Bills' problems. Because the Bills' answers are not on that roster.
Yeah.
The Bills, at some point I'm going to write this and piss off all of Buffalo. It'll be fun.
Nice.
So it's an annual thing. I do it every year. Once a year, I'll write a column questioning things about this team, and I get screamed at. And then invariably at the end of the season, I get 4 emails from Buffalo. They're like, yeah, you were right. Like the Bills are the same team they've been for years on end. Allen's unbelievable. Very good line. Mm-hmm. They can run the ball. Yeah. They have no receiver that scares you. And that defense in any big spot is going to give it up because they're not that good defensively. If you look at that team defensively, who's the guy on that defense that you have to game plan around if you're an offensive coordinator?
James Cook.
He's not on defense.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. You don't have to scare it. Nobody. So. Nobody.
Like it used to be Milano, who at this point is older. Okay. Like I like Craig Rousseau. I like Terrell Bernard. I like Christian Benford, but they're not guys that you're like, that guy is a game changing player. Like when you play Kansas City, you need to know where 95 is.
Right.
You need to know where McDuffie is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, occasionally he's in the middle of the field hanging out.
Right.
But like, look, you need to know, like those guys can wreck the game where Buffalo doesn't have anybody like that.
Yeah.
On offense, when the Chiefs are healthy, Worthy and Rice can flat out just destroy you. Like there could just be a game where those guys, especially to be fair, Rice, where it's like, there's just nothing you're doing. That guy's going for $140 and 2 touchdowns. Like there's nothing you're doing about it. If Khalil Shakir, who is the Bills' best weapon in the pass game, if he was on the Chiefs, when the Chiefs are fully healthy, he's what? The 4th best receiver on the team?
Juju's playing pretty well right now.
I mean, you've got Juju, Thornton, Brown, and then there are 2 big guys. Like at best, he's 3rd. You could argue he's like 5th.
Not talking about Kelsey. That's not even adding in Kelsey.
Not even including Kelsey. Just receivers. Like so, it's just you look at the Bills. At least I look at the Bills. Their schedule is such a joke. I could see them going 13-4, 14-3.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's fool's gold. Like watching them, and I've watched every snap of the Bills this year. I feel like they're worse than they've been in recent years. When I look at them, and I'm like, yeah, all right, I guess. And I know the Chiefs are 2-3. The Chiefs are the ceiling of this Chiefs team is wildly higher than the last 2 years.
Yeah,
which is nuts because they've been in the Super Bowl the last 2 years and won one of them. But this team's ceiling is higher than those 2 teams.
Yeah,
it is. Like so, it's a weird. It sounds like a slam on the Bills, and I guess in a way, it isn't. It's just more of a commentary on the roster, and I blame Brandon Beane for that. Like they drafted 3 defensive linemen and 3 defensive backs in this past draft, and have gotten nothing out of any of them.
Right.
Deion Walker out of Kentucky is the only guy who's done anything. He's like a run-stuffing nose tackle. That's it. Either because of injury or ineffectiveness, they literally have done nothing else, the other 5 guys. That's just it. Epinesa is a guy. He was a former high pick. Rousseau's a good player. He's the best of the bunch. Like Boogie Basham sucked. Kyrie Elam sucked. When you draft that poorly over and over and over and over and over and over on one side of the football, you're going to have a problem. You're going to be signing Joey Bosa and praying to God it works out. And like, I got news for you. It's not working out. He looks like he's 100 years old trying to get off the line of scrimmage. It's a problem. When Ed Oliver's the guy that you're like, he's it, not good.
Did you see this stat? I thought about this while you were talking about that. That's actually what I was thinking about when I said James Cook. I just guessed. And I just said James Cook. I was thinking about this stat where Jamar Chase has more solo tackles this year than Chris Jones does.
I did see that stat. It's lovely.
Yeah.
So to be fair, Chase has had a lot of opportunities, but with all the interceptions that have been thrown.
Yeah, tons of interceptions being thrown. Yeah, I mean, that's just... That's what I was thinking about when I said just instinctually said James Cook.
I appreciate he's just zoned out because you know what? Honestly, I probably did at some point there.
No, I mean I was seriously thinking about, because this is what happened. I'm looking at the NFL scoreboard right now, and then the highlights in the bottom of the corner of the screen were the Lions in the Bengals game, and I was like, oh, I remember that stat about Jamar Chase. And then you stopped talking. I was like, I gotta say something. James Cook. It's just what I went to instinctually. James Cook.
I don't know, 7?
Yeah, I should have. That would have been a better answer, probably.
That was always my go-to in high school when I'd be zoning out or like thinking how I was going to ask some girl out on a date. And then like the teacher would be like, Verderame, your thoughts? Like, on a 5.
Yeah.
And, if it was math, if it was English, I would just, I'd be like, Shakespeare.
Yeah, something about Hamlet.
No, we asked you to like open the window. All right, cool.
No, that's kind of what just happened. Is you're just here's a layup answer. And I was just like James Cook. Any other games from the slate, Matt, that caught your attention? I mean, the Titans finally got their first win. The Cowboys dodged the bullet against the Jets. I mean, there's some pretty.
Cardinals are just a disaster.
There was some pretty shit games on Sunday that ended in hilarious fashion. The Saints getting their first win as well over the Giants. Apparently Jackson Dart's up for like NFC Rookie of the Week or something like that. I saw that. Yeah.
Was he the only rookie that played this week?
I guess so, dude. I don't know. That's really bad. And then also when it comes to the Cowboys, Jerry Jones was fined for giving the middle finger $250,000, and he said, "I'm appealing it." There's a video of it happening.
He said that he was flipping off. He said that he didn't mean to flip the guy off and give him the thumbs up. He got confused. By the way, if it turns out that he was flipping off fireman Ed, I will pay the fine. I will take out a home equity loan and I will pay the entirety of the fine.
That's fair.
No need to appeal. No, I don't really have any other comment. I mean, look, the Thursday night game was wild. Mac Jones is human proof that they should never have paid Brock Purdy.
Isn't it funny how like we recorded that podcast before that game? We're like, yeah, the Rams are going to fucking blow them out. That didn't happen.
I got up to my lake house Thursday night and turned the game on, and I was like, oh, this game's going to be a murder. And it was 14-0 San Francisco. And I was like, what is happening?
Right, yeah.
And then like the Rams had every opportunity to win, but like they might be the only team with worse special teams for now than the Chiefs.
Yeah.
They just can't figure out how to do anything on special teams. Yeah. But yes, look, that game, the Titans-Cardinals game was gross and also one of the funniest games I've ever seen.
Yes.
DeMarcado just drops the ball like at the 1-yard line. Then they had like Kyler Murray had a ball that got snapped back to him and it hit him right in the face.
And he left the game
over.
Yeah.
It's like a light breeze hit him. He just went down. Then of course the all-timer with Cam Ward throwing a pick.
Yes.
That was then fumbled and kicked into the end zone by the Cardinals, and the Titans fell on it. That game, like, I got to tell you, if there's ever... Oh, I think we forgot about the Dolphins blowing a 17-0 lead to the Panthers.
That's right. Yeah, I did forget about that. Oh, it was Eric Collins on the call, too. The Charlotte Hornets broadcaster, yes. And he was going ape shit on every call.
Look, I'll come clean on this. So going into week 3, the Dolphins playing the Bills.
Yeah.
And I wrote a long column about how, like, I pre-wrote it before the game. And I pre-wrote it like the Dolphins are going to get murdered in this game.
Yeah.
And so we can run this right after the game.
Uh-huh.
And they lose, but they lose like in a way that all right, they're pretty respectable. So then they play the Jets on Monday night. I'm like, all right, look, I've updated this column.
Uh-huh.
If they lose, like, we can just run it out because it all remains true. And then they win. And then they're playing the Panthers. Are up 17-0. I'm like, man, I wasted 1,000 words. Like, And then what happened. I was in my glory. I was like, oh, this is going to be fucking amazing. I just got to update everything and rework the lead.
Right.
And it's literally been the same column for 3 weeks. And it's applied the entire time. And the Dolphins were just staving it off. And then I'm like, bang. And it just exploded and like instantly. It was like every Dolphins fan in America was just waiting to read like why they should fire everyone involved with this team.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, 3 weeks, but right on time.
So good. That is so good. Colts blew out the Raiders. The Raiders suck.
Dude, the Raiders are they're
bad.
Geno Smith has 9 picks. There's not another quarterback in the league. No, actually, let me double check this because I want to make sure I'm correct. Because Lawrence has 5 now.
Yeah, Lawrence has been dealing the picks. Their defense.
He's lost it.
Right.
God, it makes me physically ill. Okay, so Jake Brown. This is hilarious. It's right. All right, so I was gonna say that other than one quarterback, that one starting quarterback, Geno Smith has 9 interceptions. I was gonna say no other starting quarterback is more than 4, other than like one guy, and that's Jake Browning, who has 8
Oh my God.
in 3.5 games. But now the Bengals have Flacco, who has 6. So the Bengals quarterbacks, I don't know if Burrow threw any before he got hurt. The Bengals quarterbacks have thrown 14 interceptions.
That's so funny.
Like, and then Lawrence has 5, and nobody else has 4, or nobody else has more than 4. Herbert, by the way, has 4. Like, Geno Smith has thrown 9 picks. That is, in today's NFL, that's a season.
Yeah.
And like, it's October 7th.
Yeah. They still have Aiden O'Connell. How soon before Aiden O'Connell starts?
Yeah. That'd be amazing. How many times has Over the Cap seen traffic to Geno Smith's contract? Like, how many times has some Raider fan been like, please, God?
We need traffic hit reports from Spot Track. Can we get it?
They just got one because I'm checking it out. Geno, I just stuck with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like they could trade him, but like, who's going to acquire him?
Yeah, nobody wants Geno Smith. I was surprised that...
Bro, they can't even post-June him until 2027.
That's like the Chiefs and Chris Jones right now.
Bro, if they can't trade him, they're screwed. Like,
yeah.
Like they could trade him because when they acquired him, like they didn't even take on guaranteed money because they acquired him. Like,
right.
It's not going to happen.
No.
Oh, Chris Jones is actually like still like mostly playing really, really well.
Yeah.
It's the problem is he had an inopportune moment to just be like, I don't feel like playing this now. Like, I don't know. Not great. But here's the good news. The AFC sucks.
It does.
And if they play like 10% better, they're probably going back to the Super Bowl because the most hilarious possible outcome to this season is them being like a 6 seed and then just annihilating everybody on the way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Which feels very in play at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the table. It's certainly on the table. I think it's going to do it for this Wednesday edition of That Football Show. Appreciate everybody hanging out here. Appreciate us, the schedule shifting around as well. We'll be back on Friday, so we'll record again on Thursday to get that to you out Friday morning. But hopefully this started your Wednesday out well and nice. So until next time, we'll be previewing the Week 6 slate for the NFL season and getting everything ripping and ready to go here on KC Sports Network. We'll have all the normal podcasts on a short week that you guys know and love here at KCSN. So make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to become a ball knower. We really do appreciate you. So for Verderame, I'm Tucker Franklin. We will talk to you guys on Friday. We'll see you then.